Season 6 gave us some wild akumatized villains. Some were scary because of their strength, but others were scary because of what they could do to people emotionally. So here is my ranking from most dangerous to least. 1. Revelator. Revelator easily takes the #1 spot because his power not only threatens Paris physically, but also the emotional core of the entire story. Visually, he already feels dangerous. Everything about his design screams technology meets exposure, which perfectly matches what he does. With his lens, he forces people's deepest truths to come out as crystal spheres. Anyone who holds one and looks inside instantly sees the secret. And by uploading those secrets to phones, TVs, and computers, Revelator turns private pain into public chaos. What truly makes him terrifying is the damage he causes to Ladybug's team. He hits Ladybug and extracts her deepest secret, then hits Cat Noir as well, forcing him to confront the danger of his own identity being exposed. But the real breaking point comes when Rena Rouge picks up Ladybug's crystal. Expecting to see Marinette's identity, Alia instead discovers the truth about Gabriel being monarch, and Marinette choosing not to tell Adrien. That single reveal almost destroys the trust between Ladybug and Rena Rouge. Even after Revelator is defeated, the damage remains. Miraculous Ladybug can't fix what isn't physically broken, and the only way out is Cat Noir evolving his power to erase Alia's memory. Although everything gets fixed at the end, Revelator proves something terrifying. Secrets don't disappear just because you win the fight. Marinette survives this episode, but it's made clear that the secret she's keeping will come back to haunt her one day. That's why Revelator is beyond just the strongest villain. He's the most story-changing one.
Ladybug's power can fix things, not destroy them.
2. The Ruler. The Ruler earns second place because of how absolute and terrifying her control is. She appears as a fully armored knight, carrying a shield and a spear that looks like a weapon straight out of a medieval nightmare. But the true danger isn't her armor or her strength. Anyone she marks instantly loses their free will and follows her commands like a machine. The episode hits hard emotionally because her motivation comes from control disguised as love. She truly believes she's protecting her son's future, but in reality, she's suffocating him and hurting the people he loves most. When Cat Noir himself gets controlled, the danger level spikes instantly. A mind-controlled Cat Noir is a huge threat because he's like a disaster waiting to happen. Even Ladybug gets affected by the akumatized villain's power. In the end, the heroes win by turning the ruler's own power against her, forcing her to stamp herself and undo the akumatization.
Must cataclysm Ladybug.
3. Mime. Mime takes third place because his power set is incredibly dangerous, but his heart is still reachable. As Mime, he is silent and cold. He just wants to take revenge. His ability to create invisible objects that are completely real makes him one of the most unpredictable villains in the season. He can create weapons, vehicles, and walls. And in Season 6, he can now create multiple objects at the same time, which removes one of his biggest previous limitations. The smartest thing Mime does is hide his akumatized object inside an invisible safe under a bridge, making it nearly impossible to de-akumatize him directly. Even Chrysalis praises this choice, showing how strategically dangerous he is. The episode itself is heavy, dealing with media manipulation, false narratives, and how powerful people can ruin lives without consequences. So Mime isn't angry for no reason. However, Mime easily falls because of emotion. Hearing his daughter's voice breaks through the anger, reminding him of what he's really fighting for. That emotional exit is the reason he's not higher on the list. His powers are massive, but unlike Revelator or the Ruler, he can still choose to stop.
Le secret de ladybug. Apparemment, c'est inspiré de faits réels.
4. Yaki Gozen. Yaki Gozen ranks 4th. But don't get me wrong, it's not because she's weak, because she's absolutely terrifying, but because she functions more as a weapon in Chrysalis's larger plan than as a story-breaking villain on her own. She has immense strength, can freeze victims with a beam, and imprison them in total sensory darkness. Physically, she's one of the strongest akumatized villains in Season 6. However, the focus of the episode isn't really on her destruction, but on everything surrounding her. Felix's ring, Kagami's conflict with her mother, Tomoe's past, and Chrysalis stepping further into the spotlight. Yaki Gozen feels less like the core threat. The battle ends not with her overpowering the heroes, but with Tomoe rejecting the Ultra Kuma and choosing reconciliation. Yaki Gozen is dangerous, but she doesn't break trust, expose secrets, or permanently damage relationships the way the higher-ranked villains do.
I'm not taking any risks believing in a crest!
5. Sleeping Siren. Sleeping Siren ranks 5th, not because her danger comes more from scale than strategy. What she does is extreme. She literally floods Paris. The moment Ondine is akumatized, the city is swallowed by water, forcing Ladybug to evacuate civilians, summon almost the entire miraculous team, and rely heavily on power-ups. Aquabug, Aqua Noir, Ryuko with the water dragon, later even Dragonbug. This episode proves that Sleeping Siren cannot be handled by just 2 heroes. From a threat level perspective, that alone makes her one of the most destructive villains of Season 6. Her powers are actually symbolic. She turns fear and hesitation into punishment. Her Water Knights transform people into toads if they show cowardice, directly reflecting the emotional wound that led to her akumatization. Kim's fear of kissing, his hesitation, and his gullibility are mirrored in the way her victims lose their humanity. Sleeping Siren sleeps, dreams, and lets the city drown, while her emotions take physical form. However, what keeps Sleeping Siren from ranking higher is that her defeat depends on emotional resolution rather than clever villain design. Once Kim understands his mistake, apologizes sincerely, and confronts his own fear, the solution becomes clear. King Monkey's uproar, the lucky charm, and teamwork solve the physical problem. But the emotional problem dissolves once Ondine feels seen and understood.
Is someone supposed to kiss her like in fairy tales?
You don't kiss someone without their permission.
6. Climatique. Climatique takes the final spot in the ranking, even though she comes dangerously close to winning. Power-wise, she is absolutely powerful. She controls the weather, throws trains, creates massive storms, and nearly uses the Eiffel Tower itself as a global amplifier for her influence. Ladybug and Cat Noir are forced into space power-ups, Pegasus must intervene, and the Eiffel Tower literally collapses as part of the plan to stop her. But Climatique motivation is shallow compared to the others. Her akumatization is driven by social media pressure, competition, and the need for validation through likes and followers. That makes her relatable, but also less dangerous. What ultimately weakens Climatique's position in the ranking is how cleanly she's stopped once the right tools are used. Pegasus's voyage, Cat Noir's cataclysm, and Ladybug's quick thinking dismantle her plan efficiently. Once her destruction is destroyed, everything collapses just as fast as it began. She almost wins, but she doesn't scar the story. So yeah, Season 6 gave us different types of villains. Some almost destroyed Paris, others almost destroyed trust. And honestly, that's what makes this season so unforgettable. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and comment what you think. See you in the next one!